The chart shows air pollution levels by different causes among 4 countries in 2021. Wait, it is 2021. How do they know what this is the future? Summarize, that's spelled wrong, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, so, let's analyze our graph here. What stands out immediately when you look at it, you can see that China has the most pollution. By how much? Well, let's start with the biggest. When we look at this graph, what do we got? Okay, well, we got 3 causes of air pollution, and then we got some numbers over here. But they don't tell us what this ppm what it means. You may not know. How are you gonna talk about it then? This is why this is actually not a real IELTS task. This is something from a workbook or something. It's too simple to be an IELTS task. But I happen to know that ppm stands for parts per million. So the amount of particulates, or the amount of pollution that's in the air per million parts. Okay? So doing a little bit of quick math helps a lot. So when we look at China and we say, okay, that's 80, 70, that's 150, a little bit short of 60, so a little bit less than 210 parts per million. That's going to be the average amount of air pollution that they have. Okay, it comes from mostly, well, not mostly, but the biggest factor is industry. Let's look at the next, compare it to the next one. I believe this is the next one. Yeah, America. Let's see here, 30, so that's 60, a little bit short of 60. This is a little bit short of 62, so excuse me, 115, 210, 115. China is the biggest polluter, almost double, almost twice as much as America. Again, add these numbers up. Okay, do some math. Okay, now, what about anomalies? What's the main cause of pollution? Well, in China and Japan, it's industry. And they follow very similar patterns. Whereas in America, one source is most significant, and in Australia, it's pretty much the same. So, what is that? What good does that do us? Well, that is a main feature. So when we've got 2 main features here, you want to look for 2, or at least a way to divide the data into 2 parts. Here, there's, I'd say, 2 ways you could do it. You could say countries that exhibit the same. You could talk about Japan and China, or you could talk about China and everybody else. That would be another way to do it. Let's see how our candidate does it. The bar chart illustrates and compares. No, it does not compare. Comparing is something that people do. You have to compare the information that you see here. The chart allows you to compare it, but it doesn't compare it. The air pollution contribution. We'll see this word a lot. Among, I would say between, but okay, among, that's in the question. 4 different countries, namely China, America, Japan, and Australia, during the year 2021. Now, remember, your goal is to summarize, and that means make things shorter. So why does 4 different countries? Why not just say among China, America, Japan, and Australia? You just get rid of that 4 different countries, namely part. It makes it awkward and hard to read. Overall, it can be seen that China's contribution to air pollution. Now, you contribute to something. So these show the contribution to the air, contribution to air pollution, but it's not the right word here. We have to say the China's pollution, or levels of air pollution, is the most. That's one of the basic English things that they're looking for in Task 1 is the use of comparatives and superlatives. More, not more, most. It is the most. It has the highest levels as compared to the rest of 3 countries, the other 3 countries. And then, for some reason, you've got a comma here, when we need a full stop. America is the second. Second what? And Australia is the least. Well, you pretty much said all of them except for Japan. So this part here doesn't really add anything. So you've got one main feature, but it's not really stated very clearly. And it would have been better. It can be clearly seen that China's levels of air pollution are significantly higher, or significantly higher than anywhere else in the world, or the highest in the world. Well, highest amongst the 4 countries. Then say almost double that of America, the second highest producer. And we could even say, let's see here, 20, a little bit less than 20, a little less than 60, triple that of Australia, more than tripling the output of Australia. Okay, so now we want to report some details. Meow. Did that again. Okay, China's most responsible factor for air pollution is industry. Okay. Comma, followed by transport and electricity generation. Okay, while in America, comma, transport is the main factor of air pollution. Main factor for air pollution. Main factor of air pollution. Is it for or of? And don't repeat them like that. While in America, transport is the other 2 factors are quiet, quite, spelled wrong, similar for the pollution. Well, of course, for the pollution. What else? Other 2 factors are similar. Yeah, you could have made a bigger deal out of that. In Japan, comma, the industrial sector is playing. Now, why are you going into the present continuous here? It plays the main role in the increase of air pollution. Well, the reason it's red is that there's nothing in the there's nothing there that says anything about pollution increasing. This is just 1 year increase in the output. Comma, again, that's just a comma splice. It should be a new sentence. The second main factor is transport, and the least one is electricity generation. Okay, you're falling into the is trap. Okay, you've got in each of these clauses, this one is this is that, this is that, this is that. Air pollution is. Are, same thing. Is. Well, that's is playing. But don't keep your sentence structures the same like that. It won't show much grammatical range if you do that. In contrast to the other 3 countries. Okay, good. Now you've made a comparison. This is good. Australia has a similar contribution in air pollution. From the sectors as industry and transport, but a little higher contribution of electricity in air pollution as compared to the rest factors. Okay, that last bit is a train wreck. But you were really on, this was a good observation. My suggestion would be, you've also got a very predictable sentence structure in country is, or in this case has, country is source. Country is source. Country is source. How about flipping it around, saying, in contrast to the other 3 countries, the sources of pollution in Australia are even, or are very similar in their impact. Okay? Bring the pollution to the front of the sentence. You know what you're really missing here? I think anyone looking at this would notice pretty quickly, is data. You have put no numbers anywhere in your report. And that, if you look at the band descriptors, that's a big no-no. Your task achievement would be limited to a 5. Your grammar would also, I'd say, be limited to a 5 because you're not showing much grammatical range. All the sentences are similar. There's a lot of repetition of vocabulary, and your organization is fair. But you've got you need to look, first of all, for the the main features more carefully, be more thoughtfully, and look for ways to make better comparisons. You see, he's saying that China is the greatest. Yeah, I suppose it's a comparison, but it's just China. It's just one country. I like how you said that, here you looked at some you compared within the countries, but you should have compared between the countries as well.